Hello, hello. Welcome to Edpuzzle Adventure. So glad you guys are here. My name is Hans Tolman. It is April 5th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got some people in the chat. We have, it looks like 3 participants. Thank you guys so much for being here. So glad you guys are here this evening. Welcome to your Edpuzzle Adventure. Go ahead and go to this website, bit.ly/edpuzzleadventure, and you're going to complete these 3 tasks. Number 1, you're going to want to sign in. Number 2, find the slides. Number 3, introduce yourself on the Jamboard. So those 3 things on Edpuzzle, bit.ly/edpuzzle. And for my people who are just now joining us, check out the chat. I've just dropped in the website of where all these resources are going to be. In fact, and this session is recorded, FYI, and there is a website with all the resources. So let's go there and check it out. Come with me. So we go to bit.ly/edpuzzleadventure, and it takes us to this cozy page. And here, you will find a place to register if you wanted to register to Thursday's session. It's free, so you can come to as many as you want. You can also find the sign-in sheet. This is just gonna help me keep track of you guys and help me validate my Google Trainer certification. And then if you click on slides, that's where you're gonna find all of the slides that you see today. And you can follow along if you'd like. And then if you click on the Jamboard, you will be able to locate today's jam. If you scroll down, you're going to click on today's date. So the 4/5 Jamboard on Tuesday, you just pop that open. And this is where you're going to introduce yourself to our people today. So you're going to add a post-it. You're going to just tell us who you are, where you're from, how many years have you been teaching, and where are you, what are your plans for spring break? Bonus, you add a photo. Boom. So that's what's happened on the Jamboard. Keep that tab open because we'll be coming back. And if you're like, oh man, I totally want to watch this training over and over again, you're going too fast, hey, all right, I got you. I'm going to post all of our session videos here under the videos page. You're welcome. You're very welcome. And at the end of this session, I was just reading someone's feedback on my first presentation. I could really do something to improve this. So if you have ideas on how I can improve, please let me know. So you know what? Let me turn off the music. Thank you for asking that. I just have to find the music. Deep down.
Cracking a little bit. I
There
didn't
we
know
go.
yours or mine.
Sorry, no, it's mine. I keep it on in the background to keep the mood. However, if it's distracting, you guys let me know. We can play it a little later when you guys have some work time. So that's what we're doing right now. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and drop. I'm gonna just paste this in the chat so you guys have easy access. Jamboard. So you can find that in the chat. And we have Katie McNamara here, my friend, my Curnovator friend, high school teacher, librarian, and uni program director, 25 years, deep sea fishing. That's my favorite type of fishing, Katie. You're gonna have so much fun. I'm sure you've been, but it is lovely because you just, instead of waiting, you just catch fish after fish. And you just fill up that bag. There she is, my beautiful friend, Katie. I'm so glad you're here, Katie. And then we have Randy, who hails from Granite Falls. Welcome, Randy, North Carolina, 25 years. Man, we got the 25-year club. I feel like I'm the youngest one here. Me at my 17 years in education. And he's going to Disney World. Yes, Randy. Oh man, that's a big trip. We are going to Disneyland in California, the small version. So, but we're super excited. We have a 5-year-old son and he does not know what's coming. He doesn't even know. I'm so excited about it. And then we have Veronica from Bakersfield, represent Bakersfield, 18 years, going to a Dodgers game. How fun is that? And then we have Lindsay, who's filling out her Post-it. So glad you're here, Lindsay. Oh man, Katie, he is going to love it. And Randy, looking forward to retirement in 5 years. You got this, Randy. Just hold on. 5 more years. You can totally do this. So close to the finish line. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing about yourselves. And so this website will have everything you're looking for. So keep those tabs open. My name is Hans Tolman. I'm an educator, trainer, consultant. I've been in education 17 years. I teach 5th grade right now after 7 years of not teaching 5th grade, because during those 7 years, I was a tech coach, STEAM specialist, distance learning TOSA. Now I'm back to teaching. Oh man, what a year. And I'm Google certified, Pi Academy certified. I teach at Highgate Elementary, and I'm also Edpuzzle certified. I just need to add my Edpuzzle coach on there, and I'm all set. So during this session, you may have an aha moment or something you want to shout out or a question that you have. Feel free to tweet it out on the Twitter. Share what you learn, and you can use the hashtag Edpuzzle hashtag or hashtag Edpuzzle adventure. And in order to do that, I figured what better way to give you guys a minute, and let's take a group photo. So I'm going to start my 1 minute timer. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to take a group photo of anyone who is comfortable. Hey, there's Katie. Good to see you, Katie. So if you're comfortable, you can turn on your camera. I'm going to take a picture of this beautiful group of people. And if you're not comfortable, it's okay. No pressure here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, smile. Beautiful. You guys look amazing. So I'm going to give you guys some time to, if there's anything that you want to share or tweet out, if you want to tweet out what you're learning, you can do that. And you can feel free to tag me at Hans Tolman. You can also tag Edpuzzle. Those are my guys. I like them. In case you didn't know, you will find out. All right, can I go to my, okay. All right, so while you're taking the time to tweet out, or if you can do it later if you want. My next question for you that I want to jam with you on is, what is your biggest challenge in education right now? What is that one thing that is kind of holding you back from moving forward, or that one thing that if it were to change, it would just improve your teaching and your students learning a little more? What's preventing you from doing your job to its best ability? So in the Jamboard where we've been working, I'm going to give you guys a chance. Let me see if I can, let me grab our Jamboard. So if you go into that same Jamboard, up here at the top, you'll see that we have 3 frames. Oh, and there's Lindsay from Potts Camp, MS, 11 years and resting. Yes, Lindsay, take time to rest. Don't burn out. Now what you guys are going to do is you're going to click on the next frame. So you can click this to see all of the frames and click on the next, or you can just click that arrow, go to the next frame, and take a moment and share, what is your biggest challenge in education? So go ahead and grab a Post-it right over on the left, grab your sticky note, and just type in, it can be one word, include your name so we know who it is, and go ahead and share. And I'm going to drop this in the chat as well. So there's the Jamboard. And then I'm also going to paste in a link to our website for our people who are just now coming in. So you're going to this Jamboard, you're sharing, what is one thing in education that's your biggest challenge? Go do it now. And while you're doing that, can I play some music? Maybe, maybe not. Like, you need to go over there, friend. I'm gonna give you another 30 seconds or so to share your biggest challenge in education on the Jamboard. And if you want to dance, you can dance. Camera on or off, doesn't matter. Workday's over. We're just jamming. All right, I want to see what you guys are working on here. Let me tell you, I'm keeping Spectrum Internet on its toes, pushing the limits. What's that, Spectrum limits? I'm gonna push them. Push them. And we have Jennifer Eggers in the house. Woo! My 6th grade friend, Jennifer. Love learning new stuff, awesome. And we got Paul in the house, enough access to different apps. And if you're putting down your challenge, at the top of this Jamboard, click on next frame, and drop in that challenge. I'm gonna read some off. So for Lindsay, time. For Vicky, time restraint. Do you guys see a pattern? Not enough for me for the most needy. Student behavior before spring break is wild. Oh man, what's happening to these kids? It's like, what's going on with you guys? I thought I knew you. I'm going to turn off the music for now. Yes. And then this one says, I'm a district instructional tech facilitator. All the programs that our teachers want that were free during COVID, but now are not cheap. Oh yeah, it was very generous during the time, but now it's like, oh, financial restraint. And they won't use the ones we pay for and are just as useful. Randy, I hear you. And then Katie is belief gap. Katie, if you wouldn't mind dropping in the chat to expand upon that, I'm sure all of us would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you feel comfortable, if not, totally okay. That makes me curious though. Belief gap, believing in the kids maybe. So while you guys are adding to the Jamboard about your biggest challenge, my biggest challenge right now that I'm back in the classroom, is time. We're paid to be with kids, and we have kids in the classroom for 30 hours a week. That leaves us 10 hours for like restroom, lunch, and that cuts us down to like 5 hours. And then it's like, how are you supposed to plan for 30 hours of instruction in, like, even if you have those 5 hours? I'm not talking about meetings where you got to leave for the doctor or pick up your kid. The time that we're paid for is not enough time to prepare. That's what I'm getting reacquainted with. So that's my number one problem. Oh, by the way, getting reacquainted with grading. Oh man, wow, grading. That did not go away, or in many cases change that much after 7 years. And that takes so much time, and I have a belief gap. I will use that, Katie. I have a belief gap with grading. And oh, also this problem, student engagement. Now that the heat is going up with spring fever coming on, that engagement is going down. It's hard to keep these kids engaged. How do you do it? So the question we have before us, how can we save time? How might we automate grading? And how could we engage our students? Let me tell you a little bit about something called Edpuzzle. Make any video a lesson. So what is it? You choose any video from YouTube. You embed your own assessment questions along the way, and you track your students' progress. It's easy and powerful. So why is Edpuzzle your best friend? Your students can watch the video at their own pace. They can rewind it, look over it, come back to it, review it. You hold every student accountable. You see who's watching, who's answering the questions. They can't skip to the next part of the video until they answer the question. So that helps with participation. And the way that I use Edpuzzle is I use it in class during my guided reading groups. So this would be part of my list of must-dos that they need to complete, like a station rotation or individual work. And they watch the video, they have to respond to comprehension questions along the way, and they submit it, and it scores them automatically. It could also be sent as a homework to complement your lesson, to demonstrate math problems, introduce grammar vocabulary, prepare for a class discussion. You could also use it to review, like we're getting ready for the SBAC coming up here later in April, and there's a bunch of gaps that we need to fill, so we can pull those concepts from Edpuzzle as a way to review. And then you can view Edpuzzle in two different ways. You can do the classic one where your students have to log in, they watch the video independently at their own pace, or you can do a live view where you have all of the kids in class or on a Zoom, you display the video, and then the students answer on their own devices in real time, and you get live feedback to spark in-class discussion. And then the two types, hang on a sec, let me just grab something really quick here. All right, the two types of classes that you can create are the classic class. That's where students need to log in or sign up. It can be connected with your LMS. You can track your students' progress across all videos, and it's perfect if you can't live without videos in your lessons. And then open class is more of like, you know, on the fly videos that you want to pull up really quickly. You don't necessarily have to kids log in or keep track of that data. Perfect for demos or quick practice. So how is Edpuzzle going to save us time? That's what I really want to know. And so what I've learned is a super low, easy, basic way to save time is to just use ready-made lessons from other teachers. And it's okay to do that. They've already put in the time. I know that when people use my work to teach, it's a huge thrill because it expands my impact as a teacher and the content that I create. And then you can also just do a search on YouTube and copy it to your content. With the new Edpuzzle Chrome extension, they actually have a little button below each YouTube video that says Edit with Edpuzzle. So if you find an amazing video on YouTube, you just click that button, it opens it into the Edpuzzle editor, which is super easy and convenient. Or for those of you who want to take it to the next level, you record your own lesson and upload your own teaching videos. So those are some different ways that you can do that. So how can we make grading easier? Well, how can we automate grading, make it automatic? The cool thing about Edpuzzle is that it's going to, if you're creating video questions that are multiple choice, that have limited response or non-open-ended responses, that there's a definite correct answer or group of answers, then you can have it self-grade right there and give feedback after every question and have it automatically graded and sent over to your LMS without you having to do anything. So that's been really helpful. And so some of you, if you're new to Edpuzzle, well, how do I start Edpuzzle? Well, you go to edpuzzle.com, you sign up as a teacher, you connect to your school and department, then you follow the tutorial on the video on the when you first get in on how to create your own video lesson. And for those of you who have not started Edpuzzle and you haven't signed up, I'm going to drop in a promo link. If you happen to sign up with this link in the chat, you will get 3 free videos, and I will too. So it's a win-win. Now, Edpuzzle will integrate with almost any LMS. So you can set up Edpuzzle so that your students can watch right from your LMS. So in our district, we use Google Classroom and Canvas, and Edpuzzle can integrate into both, or Schoology, Moodle, PowerSchool, Blackboard. And if you go to this page, you can click on any of these links, and that will lead you to a tutorial that will explain to you how you can use Edpuzzle with Google Classroom or whatever your LMS is. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to set that up. So let me take some time to show you what this looks like. And I just want to jump back over to see, okay. So let me zip on over to my own classroom. So here I am in Edpuzzle. And this was something that happened today where my partner and I are thinking about next week, we're planning. And for 5th grade, we're thinking like, well, what Edpuzzle video or lesson could we find to teach them about main idea and supporting details? It seems like our students constantly struggle with that, even though they've been learning it since kindergarten. So I'm in Edpuzzle. I can click on Discover here on the left, and then I can search Edpuzzle. Today I called it, oh, I need to Edpuzzle that. You know how we YouTube things or Google things? Well, now you're going to Edpuzzle things. So you type in your grade level, 5th grade, main idea and supporting details. Now I'm going to search. And this is what you're going to find in Edpuzzle. You're going to find a list of videos that teachers have already created. You're going to see how long the video is, a little thumbnail. You're going to see how many questions there are. This one contains 5 questions. 5th grade main idea and supporting details. Excuse me, getting over a bad cough here. Now, as I'm looking through these videos, I also see this video that says Edpuzzle hosted. That means the content created and uploaded to Edpuzzle is by teachers like you. So that may be a marker of something that would catch my attention when I'm looking for a video. So let me just click on this first video. So typically, I'll look at the video, I'll watch a little bit to see what we're looking at.
This lesson is going to be on the main idea. First, we must ask ourselves, what is a main idea? Well, there are 2 types of main idea.
So let's say this is the video that I want. I can scroll through as a teacher, and if I like it, I can look at the questions and skip straight to them. So this question is over here on the right. It says, how can we sometimes find the main idea of a paragraph? Guess, reread the first and last paragraph. Excuse me, I had to cough and I muted just in time. Sorry about that. So I can review all of these questions. I can
Next
skip
thing
it
we can do
and watch the whole video, pardon me. And I can also see the lineup of multiple choice questions here. So let's say this is the video that I want. I've already connected my Google Classroom to this, so I can click on Assign, and this is what it looks like. I select the classroom I want to assign it to. I check mark it. I can schedule it, so it's not available today, but I'd want it for next week. So I can set that all up over here. I can automatically post it to Google Classroom. Let's set it up for, excuse me, the 19th. I'm going to try to mute most of those coughs. And then I can also schedule it for a certain time. I can have a due date, and all of that data is transferred to Google Classroom, and it schedules it in Google Classroom. So if I were to assign it right now, assign, that has now been assigned. It's in my content. There's all my kiddos. And then I can also switch it over to live mode if I wanted to do it in class. And when I go to my Google Classroom under classwork, I already have that Edpuzzle 5th grade main idea supporting details scheduled for April 19th. One moment, please. Excuse me. So already in there, easy peasy, right? So that is what Edpuzzle is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some time for playtime. This is a time where you can go into Edpuzzle and try to search for videos of lessons that you might teach tomorrow. And for those of you who have never used Edpuzzle before, and you're curious about how to integrate it with your LMS, your learning management system, this slide right here, which is slide 22, each of these links will take you to where you need to go. Awesome. Jennifer says, yes, on it, doing this now. So let's take some playtime. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'm going to play some nice music. You can feel free to mute me if you want, whatever. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. But excuse me. Okay, playtime is on, music is on, have fun. And if you're not in Edpuzzle playing, you just dance. I'm gonna go on mute so I can talk freely. But feel free to unmute, drop questions in the chat. All right, take another minute to play. Have a cough drop. if that makes a difference. See you guys in 1 minute. I was muted the whole time. All right. I'm going to go backwards. Backing up. Backing up. Thank you, Mrs. Cushman. I feel like I'm out of practice. You guys are so gracious. Thank you. Sorry about that. So, how spicy do you want your Edpuzzle adventure to be? That's what I said when I was muted. Sorry about that. So, 3 different levels of spiciness. For my beginners, let's keep it mild. Cool it down. Chill out, dude. For my beginners, you're just going to want to save time and use other teachers' lessons. That's it. Keep it simple. Now, for those of you who are ready to take it up to the next level, you guys are going to make it hot by uploading your own video lessons, adding in your own questions, and automate grading. I feel like that's almost like a spicy level. Now, for those of you who want to get super spicy, you guys, my advanced users, you're going to take 40 minutes of your time and get Edpuzzle certified. It took me 40 minutes to be an Edpuzzle certified educator level 1. And you can do that. So if you're curious about that, if you want to learn more, you can go to go.edpuzzle.com/onlinepd. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for you. So you can just click on that, keep that tab open for another time. But if you are interested, you can use Edpuzzle to get officially certified in topics like Edpuzzle Coach, just got it, Flipped Learning, gonna get it, Google Tools, Tech Integration, Project-Based Learning, or PBL. So those are some of the many, many topics you can get certified on. And it's a really great tutorial. And they use Edpuzzle to quiz you along the way. It's awesome. So here's my last question for you guys. How will you use Edpuzzle in the classroom? And to do this, I would like you to share, excuse me, on the last frame in our Jamboard. So if you don't have the Jamboard open already, go ahead and click on the link in the chat. That's going to open you up to the Jamboard. I'm going to jump over there now and just take a minute or two to answer the question, how will you use Edpuzzle in your position, whether it's inside of the classroom or outside of the classroom? So I'll give you guys some time to do that. Music and go. All right, the jams are coming in. I'll read off some of these for you guys. I'm a digital learning coach, and I share it with teachers to use to help student engagement. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for saying that. Yes, I could totally see this as a very valuable tool as a coach, as a way to model to teachers how this could be used. You can incorporate it in your training when you're training teachers. Awesome. Excuse me. First grade learning tally marks and math. Yes. Google Classroom integrated. Yes. Or maybe whole class for the first time or two. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. And we have a this pointing to the digital learning coach. Yes, I vote for that. Yes, anonymous elephant, you point that arrow. And then Paul, he says classroom assignment. And then we have someone else, self-paced learning, fab or neurodivergent. Yes, love it. Self-paced learning, absolutely. Think about the elements of student engagement. They have control over their learning. They go at their pace. Someone said, oh, Vicky says, I feel this is a useful tool during our center time. They're starting to become bored with the same-o that's been happening. Oh, I totally hear you, Vicky. I'm sure with more think time, I'll have even more ideas. Yes, take your time on that think time. And it could be this may end up being like a summer project that you think about, and that's totally fine. And then someone says for different content areas, instead of a standard take notes on a video, they can use Edpuzzle to check for understanding. Yes. And you know, I was thinking, I have like tons of procedures that I give my students at the beginning of each year, and going through them takes forever. But if I were to break them up into like little 5 to 7 minute Edpuzzle videos, part 1, part 2, and like have little questions along the way to like check their understanding about a particular classroom procedure, that's kind of my summer project in my brain right now. I'm getting that ready. Awesome. These are great ideas, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. This is awesome. Where are my slides? I don't know. It's somewhere else. Here they are. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you. We're ending this a little early. I'm gonna drop the link to the evaluation in the chat. So if you have ideas on how I can improve this and make it better, like turn down the music volume, I will listen and I will do it. If I can find it. Where are you, music? There you are. Okay. So if you have any ideas to share, please let me know in the feedback in the evaluation form. And I'm going to be hanging out afterwards. So you guys, if you need to take off, go ahead and take off, get your dinner for your family or whatever you need to do. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming. And if you feel like unmuting, you can do that. You know what? We have some more people here. If you guys are up for it, let's do a group picture. Let's do a group picture right now. Some of you were like, we just did a group picture, Hans. But I know not everyone was here, especially Jennifer. All right, here we go. Only if you're comfortable. Only if you're comfortable. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, smile. Oh, there she is. 1, 2, 3. You guys are such good sports. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Hans. This is a lot of fun.
Good. Glad you joined us, Jennifer. Glad you got to
You're
join us.
cracking me up. It was Western Day at school.
Oh, it was. Look at you.
Yeah.
It was what was it? Tropical day at school today. I have my flamingo shirt over here that I took off because it was like way too hot.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways.
I was thinking that you need to share this. Do you guys have like a word? Like we have PATS, being prepared, accountable, thoughtful, and safe, as part of PBIS. Like you're the Highgate Huskies, you probably have something like that. I was thinking that if you made an Edpuzzle video about those school procedures of how we behave in certain areas and then quiz the kids, if admin made that and then pushed it out to all the teachers, that'd be very helpful.
There could be an admin Edpuzzle with like a school Google Classroom, or maybe, they put, he can push it out to the teachers who want to use it and get it to all the kids. And that would be data for PBIS, which is like those PBIS people, they get excited about that data. You're one of them.
I've become one of those people, Hans. So
don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it.
Anyway, that was one of my thoughts, because then, they wouldn't have to say it every day. It would be already captured on video, and then we could check for the kids' understanding. We could push it out over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. You could have a list of kids who do not understand and isolate them and quarter them. They thought they were just taking a fun Edpuzzle, but there was a strategy in mind.
There you go. All right, well, have a good afternoon.
You have a good evening. You have a good evening, Jennifer, if you need to jump out. And yes, Paul, what were you saying? Thank you, Katie.
A certificate of completion that we can get from this training?
So I happen to be unemployed by Edpuzzle. I'm just doing this for free out of the kindness of my own heart. However, if you would like a certification, I can whip something up and give it to you, but it won't be official Edpuzzle. It'll just be, you hung out with me and you got trained. So
I also took pictures of us in the group, so I can use that. I think that'd be good enough, because I just have to.
And you know what? You can use my website. I'll be dropping this recording in that website, so you'll have that. And you're here. You're actually on video, so you'll have plenty of data if people are like, "Hey, did you really go to that thing?"
Yeah, we have a core 2 binder that they look at, periodically through the year. So I can just take the picture that I took. It has, your address up there, so and it has me and all of us here. So I guess that'd be good enough. So that's
perfect.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to connect my classes through Schoology, so that's what I'm working on now.
Because we were working on that on it was Monday, right?
Sunday,
that's right.
So it's okay, but thanks a lot. I appreciate you. Great one, dude.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming, Paul. You have a great rest of your school year.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.